Back with daily messages. We're pulling out a message from the book. Wu Wei is also the ability to get around the blocks you experience as you try to materialize ideas and goals. When life doesn't want to dance to your tune, start by asking yourself these questions. Am I in the right place? Am I too early or too late? Am I going too fast? Do I need more patience? Do I need time to consolidate to create an energy within myself that is compatible with my goal? Am I trying for something that's too far in the distance? Do I need to set a goal closer to where I am now? How many more questions do they have here? Ask yourself, is what I want appropriate? Does my plan infringe on other people? Does it require them to be something they don't want to be, to do things they don't want to do? If I'm involving other people, what's in it for them? Maybe the resistance comes from the fact that you've forgotten to include them. Have I looked after and honored everybody, made sure they are happy and ready to perform? Is what I want self-indulgent? Will it assist me in growing and becoming a better person, in achieving a more fulfilling life? Or am I just indulging myself? Remember, many of the things you want are in fact dead weights, prisons you create for yourself. More often than not, material things weigh you down because you have to look after them and worry about them. Sometimes the deeper spiritual part of you, the infinite self within, protects you from disaster. You'll head off trying to achieve something that the inner spiritual you, the deeper subconscious self, doesn't actually want. So it will make sure you arrive too late, or the person you seek will not be there, or the check bounces and things generally don't work. If things really aren't working and they turn out to be a mess, you have to think, hey, is this because of something deep inside me? Do I really want what I think I want? Okay, there's so many more questions. Let's move on. We got the gist. But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears. Love gives not but itself, and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed. For love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Okay, so let's get to your messages. So we're starting off with this oracle card here. The deep wounds are healing, and a new adventure has just begun. The white deer beckons you to come play. Immersion number 7. We're also looking at the, sneeze. I felt that coming so strong. Okay, we're also looking at the throat chakra here. Possibly something you feel that you need to say, something you need to speak up about, or using your throat in some kind of creative capacity to be a spokesperson for something, to be a singer, to be a spoken word artist, whatever it may be. There's something about speech that's important for this journey, and hiding underneath that card, I really didn't know it was there. So we have the throat chakra, and we have, what is this again? Let me remember. Solar plexus. So this is confidence building. This is really, it works nicely together if you're empowering yourself and feeling confident and then speaking up for things, or just going up on stage and performing a song. That kind of seems to be working well together. And if there are kind of wounds healing here and it's encouraging you to play, then maybe this is kind of a playful energy. Maybe it's not so like angry, but it could be anything. It's just kind of speaking up. So underlying this energy, why it is you're healing. Maybe there's been a time where you felt small and felt that you needed to protect yourself, or there was something threatening in your life, feeling so small and scared, not wanting to face the world. Many layers of protection here distancing you from life. Know that you are always held in the love of the divine, perfect as you are. Immersion number 2. And I like that that's 2 because that's partnership. So it might be that through partnership, through connecting with others, you're able to start coming and playing more and interacting with the world in a different way. Okay. Right, so we're talking about confidence with the solar plexus here, and then we're also talking about speaking. That's crazy. Wow. Wild things are happening on this table here. We have the throat chakra, the solar plexus, and then we have I speak with confidence because the world needs my light, which is exactly how I'm reading these cards, because we have a confidence card and a speaking card, so speaking with confidence. Okay, wonderful. And then let's take that a step further. When I've overshared, I simply say, wait, why am I talking? So the throat chakra seems to be really kind of prominent here. You know, it might be about an overly developed or overly leaning into the throat chakra, or kind of a passive or dominant throat chakra. Happiness is a choice I make. So maybe a lot of how you figure out whether you're oversharing or whether you need to speak up more often is kind of figuring out how you're feeling, your happiness level, your mood. And what your mood is based on patterns, based on your life, you know, looking back at times in your life, if you can kind of detect what it is that your mood is usually dependent on. And if your mood is an actual good tool to understand where it is you're currently at, or if it sometimes is just kind of things that you go through, like if you suffer from, I don't know, some people have like PMS. Some people have that, right? So then if your mood changes depending on that, that's just an example where you might be like, okay, well, a week before my period, I know that I'm just kind of overly emotional, overly stressed. Maybe this isn't really a good time to be making decisions about things I want to speak about with confidence. But that's just an example, right? No biggie. So something about being quiet. It's a challenging time, going through difficult things, being on your own, being quiet about things, or just not having a lot of communication here. But justice is right around the corner with your work skill set. So as you're putting more work into things, it feels like it's coming back into balance for you, whether that's economical or financial or some kind of partnership situation or some kind of legal situation. There's information coming through for you, and it's through children for some reason, or it could be through your own exploration of creativity, through your intuition, through your passion being reignited. You're kind of getting more information about what it is that you need to do. It feels like as you're acting a bit passive, you're actually getting more information coming in. Let's see. So it might seem outwardly like you're passive, but you actually have a lot going on inside. But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears. And we're just talking about your moods and whether your moods are a good indication of like whether you can speak up about something or not. Cover your nakedness. If in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness. So it feels like through love is all encompassing, and if you can only choose love's pleasure, right? If you're only comfortable with the positive emotions and the positive experiences, then it's better that you shelter yourself from exposing yourself to love, because love is going to put you through everything. And let's talk about love in different terms. Life. Let's just say life. If you're going to shelter yourself from certain parts of life, right, then don't be completely engaged with them. Don't show all of your emotion. Don't show all of your tears. Don't show all of your laughter. Balance is an important part here. And you do get it through consistency in work and persevering through difficulties. Sometimes you do need to be alone. That is a search that you're doing on your own, but you spend kind of time not communicating, and it feels like through that you're getting more insight, and the insight comes through your creativity. But maybe it also comes through love. Maybe it's your relationships that help you with your insight as well. And then we talk about wu wei, which is non-action. And when you're trying to materialize your ideas, you might come through blocks. So it's talking about all the reasons that you may be experiencing blocks, why things aren't moving forward as fast as you think they should be. And negotiating this territory between speaking up about something with confidence or feeling like you've overshared and maybe needing to be quiet, and then negotiating the territory between experiencing all of love, including its bitterness, the bittersweetness of love, both bitter and sweet, or sheltering yourself from it and only experiencing little parts of it, but not really being able to show all of your emotion either. Because when you feel sorrow, you're going to have to only show some of your sorrow, and when you feel great joy, you can only show some of your joy. And then you can't really experience the fullness of life. And that's okay. That's, I don't think that this book is like saying, maybe it is. It's called The Prophet by Khalil, Gibran, and maybe some of you know more about this book than I do. I'm going to see if there's any kind of forward here, any information about what this book is really about. I know isn't The Prophet about someone who goes and search for, on like the spiritual journey, spiritual quest? I don't know. Maybe there's information that's relevant to us online, just to figure out what The Prophet is really about. We're 12 minutes in, so I'm not worried about time. Let's just see what that is. Prophet Wiki. Wiki knows all. Okay, it's a book of 26 prose poetry fables written in English by the Lebanese-American poet and writer Khalil Gibran. It was originally published in 1923 by Alfred A. Knopf. I don't care about that. Neither do you. The Prophet Al-Mustafa has lived in the city of Orphalese for 12 years and is about to board a ship which will carry him home. He's stopped by a group of people with whom he discusses topics such as life and the human condition. The book is divided into chapters dealing with love, marriage, children, giving, eating and drinking, work, joy and sorrow, houses, clothes, buying and selling, teaching, friendship, talking, time, good and evil, prayer, pleasure, beauty, religion, and death. So we just talked about love. We just found that chapter about love. Interesting. So I don't know what I got from that. I don't know what you got from that, but I guess I'm being drawn again to the justice card, an emphasis about balance and justice being restored, and needing to use your reasoning and your mind and not getting swayed by emotionalism. But maybe also understanding the part of life, if you're going to experience life to its fullest, then you're going to experience the ups and the lows, the highs and lows, and the greatest pleasures and the greatest sorrows. Hopefully not, but no one wants to experience the greatest sorrows. But I think if you experience the greatest pleasures, you will experience the greatest sorrows when those are removed from your life, right? Just like anything in life is temporary. And so if we experience a great love, there will be an end to that great love at some point. And because such is life, everything's temporary, including our own lives. So what does that even mean? What does that say? It means that if you're going to be open to all of life, you know, you need to understand there's both great sorrow and great pleasure. And the reason a lot of the time that you're experiencing great pleasure is because you've experienced great sorrow, and you have that contrast, but also you experience great sorrow because you've experienced great pleasure. It just kind of goes hand in hand. And maybe that does need times of self-reflection, and maybe this is a long kind of journey of a dark night of the soul that you've been going through. But you might be able to seek more understanding and clarity by engaging with your passions, the things that make you feel passionate, or the people that you connect with that make you feel passionate, and keeping yourself steady and grounded in work, and connecting with your throat chakra and solar plexus, and figuring out if they're overly strong or overly weak, and kind of balancing those out, or just in general balancing out your chakras, and getting through this difficult time you've been in, and healing and returning to a more playful state. And a lot of it's going to be through this hanged man position. So it might feel like for a while you've just kind of been laying low, or at a standstill, at a pause. Life isn't moving fast enough. We read about that here, the wisdom of inaction, and how there's some blockages sometimes when you want things. And a lot of the time, the reason for the blockages are energetic. So there's something within us. It's almost like we're giving the universe mixed messaging. Like, I really want this thing, but then in your action, you're telling the universe, I really don't want this thing. It's almost like when a person flirts with someone and they're like making eyes at them, but then when the person comes to them, they ignore them and act really mean. And people sometimes do that because they're insecure. People sometimes do that because they're not really sure what they want. So maybe you can use that as an example for yourself with the universe, and maybe like you're insecure about really getting what it is that you want, maybe feeling like you're not really worth it, you're not worthy of it, or you don't deserve it, or not believing that good things could happen for you, or not even being sure if this is what you want. And those are questions you need to kind of figure out for yourself, to clear your own head, to come from a place of reasoning, from a balanced place, from a calm place where you're not overly grasping for new experiences because you feel like you cannot survive without them, or you're struggling without them. It's great when you get a helping hand. It's great when you get a leg up in life. But I also think that we need to have a very cool disposition in our lives, and not grasp and not reach and not get desperate. Be really calm and steady, and just kind of the calmer your disposition is, the better things are, generally speaking. So I hope this spoke to someone. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thanks for watching.